Hey Cancer, welcome. What I'd like to do for you now is a 3-card spread. Recent past, current situation and moving forward, with a couple of clarifiers, and finally an oracle card. So, let's get started. There's a lot of time involved in this situation. There's a lot of waiting. There's been a lot of waiting. There's been a lot of holding back and waiting. There seems to be an individual, perhaps you, that holds a lot of emotion or has a lot of emotional power in this situation. Perhaps you've been leading your life based on what made you feel a certain way or feel inspired. Maybe you've been withholding your emotion for a long period of time. Perhaps there's someone here external to you who has been waiting a very long time to come forward. This could be a partnership, this could be a friendship, this could be romantic, and it could be business. King of Pentacles is typically a business owner or a person who is very financially stable. Perhaps that's something you've been seeking, someone who can provide more stability for you as your pursuits or your interests have been more emotionally fulfilling and not necessarily financially viable. It seems like there's some kind of news or fresh perspective or fresh start, or someone's waiting for the right time to bring you news. It's very much in the air. There's something shifting, but very slightly, very slowly. You have perhaps experienced a lot of turmoil and upheaval and going here and there and everywhere for a big part of your previous life. And there's some kind of change in the air, but it's not tangible quite yet. Moving forward, the 6 of Cups signifies a potential naivete about the situation. There's the promise of children or the memory of childhood. I think it's a really beautiful energy, but it can sometimes blind you to the reality of a certain element of deception or toxicity that could also be submerged perhaps a little bit more deeply in a situation that you don't quite see yet. Or perhaps you're leaving that toxicity behind for a new start, for something somewhat inspiring, something that provokes a feeling of happiness and comfort and innocence. Perhaps there's a fear of changing direction. Regardless, it does seem like there's a period of suspension of activity in this moment, and the direction moving forward is not necessarily clear, but it does seem like it's potentially positive. Perhaps there are a couple of different choices here that you could take, and one is potentially darker than the other. Perhaps there is a clear light and a clear dark. Perhaps the path hasn't been completely illuminated yet. I'm going to pull an oracle card. Clouds. Clouds brightly shine, stung in precision. Life will be fine with firm decision. Beware of clouds misty and obscure. Life cloaked in darkness is hard to endure. So perhaps you don't know what choices you have in front of you just yet. But once those choices become clear, it's very obvious that even though something might seem too good to be true or naive or maybe even regressive or maybe even too innocent, perhaps the person seems too innocent or you're a little world weary, perhaps the choices haven't made themselves aware to you yet. But once they do, it's clear that you'll need to go back to that state of what provokes that feeling of love and emotional inspiration from you, and perhaps it will take time to shake out what is deception and what is real, but always follow the light. Always follow what makes you feel like a child again, makes you feel deeply loved and full of trust, because that's always the way. All right, that's where I'm going to leave it. What are your thoughts? Thank you for spending time with me, and I hope to see you again. Take care.